broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tim Wilmot here from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me this afternoon for our Workbooks Hangout session, our regular series, or fairly regular series. We've been a little bit amiss over the summer period, but a fairly regular series of short Workbooks presentations focusing on different topics around Workbooks. And this afternoon, I'm going to cover bulk actions. What are they? What do they do? You might have seen them on your Workbooks menus, forms. What are they all about? So this presentation will be about a quarter of an hour or so in duration. It's just an overview of this feature. It's not meant to be in-depth training. My company, Wizard Systems, offer many extensive training options if you'd like to explore those with us. Now, the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel, probably lurking in the top right corner of your screen, and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. Probably best to type them in as you think of them rather than waiting till the very end of this session. Also, at the end, I'll be giving you an update on any Workbooks product news just to keep you in the loop with what's happening on the Workbooks scene, new features and so on. This call is being recorded as well, so after the presentation you will receive an email with a link to the recording which you can share with your colleagues, and we'll most likely pop it up on our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. So as I normally do, just a brief mention about Workbooks. I know many of you on the call listening live, you'll be familiar with us. We've supplied you with the Workbook system. All we do is CRM, as you may know, and we've got extensive service and support offerings around Workbooks. So if you need any help in further implementation of Workbooks, integration with applications, automation, training, of course, that can be at your place. Our place, we're based just north of Bristol, but we cover the whole of the UK, and we can do online training as well if that suits you, without the need for travel. It can be fairly interactive. And finally, our help desk support service as well, ready to answer any of your questions about Workbooks to make sure you get the most out of your CRM investment. Okay, so bulk actions, what are they all about? Let me get into a Workbooks system. So bulk actions are basically a way of getting Workbooks to carry out some kind of operation on many records, different types of records in your Workbook system. And that can be changing the data, adding some information, deleting records. You'll see in a minute the number of options that you've got within bulk actions. Now, the example I'm going to choose this afternoon is, imagine you take a new sales inquiry, you put it into Workbooks as a sales lead, but you or the user that's doing this, they forget to maybe schedule a follow-up activity. So maybe in your company, when you take a new inquiry, you may allocate it to someone, but you want that person to follow up the new inquiry, maybe with a follow-up phone call. So wouldn't it be a nice idea that if that person did forget to schedule a call, this thing called bulk actions is automatically almost 24/7 monitoring the system. It will kick into action and make sure that this affected record or records, they're addressed and they get a follow-up phone call. Therefore, nothing's going to slip through the net. Nothing gets forgotten about. Okay, so let me first of all type in a sales lead, or first of all, let me go to the sales leads landing page. So there we are, no leads. Let me type in a new lead, but I'll omit to type in a new activity for this person. So I'm just putting in a name. I'm not scheduling any activity at all. Save and close. Job done. The user's done that, but they might have forgotten how to put in that activity, or they might have been diverted, busy, or whatever. It happens. So I have created already in my workbook system a report to display those leads that don't have an outstanding activity against them. So if I go to, so I've done this already, so I go to reporting, and here's my reports here that I've created earlier on. Leads with no activity. Let's click on that. So there's all my leads, but I specifically want to go to today's leads. I've got a little view there, a little further filter within that report to home in on those leads created today. So two things: the lead was created today and it does not have a follow-up task or action against it. So the danger is this could disappear down some dark hole within the CRM system and get totally forgotten about. So bulk actions, here we are, right at the top there. This allows me now to set up an operation for these bulk records. So I'm just going to select the sales leads column, and we found that one record currently. What action do I want to take place? So here's all the options that you've got available. We can add them to a mailing list. We can create compliance records. We can create tasks. I'm going to go into that in a minute. We could delete records en masse, reassign them to somebody else. Of course, that's a key thing in a CRM system is ownership of the record. Who's going to do it? Who's looking after that particular contact or update down at the bottom? Another common thing that you might do across multiple records. So I'm going to select create task because a phone call is going to be a task. So here's all the different tasks I've got set up in my workbook system, and there we are right in the middle there, phone call. So I click next, and this will display now, will offer me to put in more details about this follow-up phone call. So some kind of subject or reference, chase new lead, for example. Who is it going to go to? I could assign it to a group. I could assign it to an individual. There's a bit more information I can populate about this phone call for all these records as well on that screen. But what I want to do is I want this to run automatically. So this is where this button up here, do you see run on a schedule? This allows me to create a schedule now based on that task I want to be created. So I'm going to give the this scheduled action a name, so I'll be able to see it amongst any other scheduled actions I've got configured in my workbook system. Some kind of a basic name there. And if I scroll down a little bit further, the important bit is here, the schedule section. This is where I can decide the frequency, the time at which these actions are going to be triggered. I want to enable or disable this this process, this procedure, and any end date as well that I might define, plus the days of the week I wanted to run. Obviously, I'm not going to run it on the weekend because there's nobody going to be around. So that, I mean, those are the default options there. If I just save and close that now, that's been done. But what I need to do, that will actually work automatically now the following day, 6 a.m. But what I'd like to do now is just manually trigger this just so you can see what happens. So just close down all those open windows and I go down to now bulk actions. This is where I can see all of my bulk actions that I've configured. There's the one I've just done there, chase new leads. Click on that. And just to manually kick this into action, it will run automatically, but just so that I can show you how that runs. I'm just going to click on that Run Now button and just wait a second or two. In the background, it's going to schedule that that follow-up phone call for that new lead. If I actually go back to Fred Blogs as the new lead, Here is the Fred Blogs lead. Yes, we've automatically populated some other fields, but there we are. On the Activities tab there I can see my Chase new lead. It's there for Paul Sully to see. So, simple example of a bulk action being created, and secondly, some kind of scheduling process to, on a daily basis, get it to monitor your Workbooks CRM system, and based on any records it finds via that report that I created, it was actually quite a simple report, it's going to kick into action and carry out that update, applying new information, changing information, updating information, whatever the option is. So, simple example of a bulk action. I'd now like to open out the call before I give you a little update on any Workbooks news. If you've got any questions, please type those into the questions section on your meeting control panel. So, question from Lena: why did you have to create a report for your example? Why not do it directly from the leads list? Yes, of course, from the leads landing page. Well, yes, you will see in Workbooks when you go to a landing page where you see a list of leads, list of prospects, customers, activities, whatever, you will be able to see a bulk actions option. And yes, you could do it from there. But my specific example was I wanted, yes, I wanted new leads, but I only wanted new leads from today, and also those, this is the critical thing, those that didn't have an activity against them. That's why I need to create that simple little report just to find that more detailed information, that more detailed search criteria for that record. But yes, they can be. Of course, if you've got a fairly simple example, you just wanted leads today, or you just wanted leads for user Mary, yeah, that could be done from the leads landing page where you see all of your sales leads. Okay, question from Carl. Could you reallocate phone calls based on a call not being updated, say over 2 weeks old? Yes, you could. Again, Carl, I'm pretty sure you will need a report, a simple report to do that, to go through all of the calls in your system that haven't been updated. Of course, well, most records in Workbooks will have the last time they were updated, so that should be a pretty straightforward report to do. A report displaying all calls older than 2 weeks, and yes, then just as my example, just I went through my example, you would create that bulk action and then schedule it, set up the scheduling process for it, and then save it and forget about it. It's then gonna monitor your Workbook system. Okay, I don't think any more questions are coming through. If you do think of any other questions, you can always email any of us here at Workbooks. If you're watching this, as a recording on YouTube, you can also contact us via our website, wizard-systems.com. If I can just bring you up to date with any Workbooks news as of August 2019. Waiting in the wings is a new word link. You may be familiar with a feature, built-in feature of Workbooks to link to G Suite, to link to Google Docs. So you can, from a record, create a form in Google Docs that merges in information from the record into a form. Well, we've got a very similar process shortly to be available with Workbooks. Don't know when it's coming out exactly. But rest assured, you'll hear it from us first. A new word link to so if you use Word, this will be really great for you to create letters, forms from your Workbooks application. There is a new Exchange integration going through beta at the moment. It's about to be released. This is going to be called the official name is Workbooks Outlook Add-in, or WOA. There will still be the Workbooks Outlook connector, WOC. Sorry about these acronyms and these letters, abbreviations, but there will still be the Outlook connector. But specifically, if you're using Exchange, This is a new and improved Exchange integration. We think the pricing is going to be exactly the same as the existing Exchange synchronization that's available, but it has a few enhancements that is not available in the current Exchange links. So more information on that prior to release, for sure we'll give that to you. We've got a training course for introductory people next week on Wednesday. If you've got any new starters, this will be at our Bristol Training Centre. Fairly small class sizes, typically under 6 people, all from different companies. But if you've got any new starters, you want to give them a day off site and send them down to Bristol, over to Bristol for a day's intensive training on the day-to-day aspects of using workbooks. We'd love to see you. More information on that, please contact again any of us here at Wizard Systems. So thanks for watching this afternoon. Bulk actions in workbooks. Hopefully that's given you a clue as to regard what they are. If you do want any help in creating bulk actions, of course we can either provide you with more in-depth training, maybe typically just under an hour or so to cover most aspects of the key things that bulk actions are all about. But if you want us to actually create the bulk actions for you, or create the report that tries to find these affected records. Remember that component of the example I gave you, creating the report, pretty key in trying to find the exact records that you want to be processed. So thanks for watching. My name again is Tim Wilmot, Wizard Systems. There's our contact details and our support address. Thanks for watching. We hope to be doing some more regular presentations over the autumn period. So make sure you're on our mailing list, and certainly if you're using workbooks, we'd love to have you attending. So we'll speak to you soon. Thanks very much indeed.